First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming. I'm excited. My first awards here. It's been a bittersweet transition for me coming over and taking over for Jeff and so forth, and especially when you look back all those years that Jeff hired me a long time ago. So it's great to be here. I want to thank everybody for coming. I have a couple people that I want to introduce. Greg Zeman, manager of payroll, is here from the office. Justina is here. She's also a benefits specialist. So it's nice to see her go from here to the office, which is great. So, and I worked with her dad years ago, which was pretty cool. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So, but I'd like to introduce Annie. She's going to talk a little bit about the volunteer program, and her and Monica are kind of going to hit some of that up. So, okay.
Hi guys, I'm happy to be part of this today's celebration. I'm your restaurant's volunteer champion. I basically work with the Corporate Support Center to organize and coordinate volunteer events and things that go on. There's 30 volunteers at our restaurant. We do have a lot of volunteers, people who do things that help our community and make it a great place. Giving back is something that Eden Park really prides on, and we wouldn't be able to do that, and they wouldn't be able to do it without the commitment of our restaurant and our volunteers. I know Monica, she was our #1 with the Caring for Kids this year. Matt, he's always our backhand man. But we know everyone takes time out of their family, friends, personal lives to do things for volunteering, and we appreciate that. And I know Monica wanted to say a couple things and recognize everyone who did volunteer for us this year.
Hello everybody. I just really wanted to just say a couple words about how proud I am about last year's campaign for Caring for Kids. We had a lot of support last year. A lot of people did so many things, volunteered their time, coming in the spaghetti dinner. We had a lot of people volunteer to bring in items for our baskets. So Janet actually also put together a little contest for us last year to try to get a little bit more support during our spaghetti dinner raffle baskets, and did a little contest to see what team could bring in the most stuff and make the best basket out there. So that was a big, huge encouragement for us. We had such a big, huge turnout at the spaghetti dinner. Thanks to everybody, and a lot of the people who come and help also don't even work here anymore. They just come with the simple fact of great intentions and just like their heart pretty much coming to support this campaign and continue to support Children's Hospital. So I just wanted to say, thank you to everybody and supporting everything, and we are really excited to give out our volunteers. And along with Children's Hospital, so many people did things in their community as far as, being a part of their schools, teams, and sporting events and things like that. So great job to everybody doing things out in their community as well. We'll start presenting some pins. Yeah, well, first and foremost, we have Annie, who has also been a huge part of spaghetti dinner for a long time. So she certainly gets a pin herself, so we'll have to pull one aside for her. Let's see who's all here right now. We'll go through some names. We do have Alexis. She's not going to be here. We have Debbie. She's Gloria. Jessica. Kathy Tracy's back there. She's over there helping us out. We have Kristen. And she is. No, she went back to the kitchen again. Paige, we have Sharon. She's here, isn't she? Yep, Sharon White. She's here. I got something for somebody with Sharon. One of our Sharon's volunteering. Amy's not here. Janet helped out. Denise here. No. We got Lisa back there. She's standing back there. She's covered for us today. And not on my my list, but one of them's here today, and they don't work here anymore, which is Deanna and Dory Ann. Both actually were part of our volunteer list for last year, so we did put in pins for them as well. Suayano, Rachel, Connie, we got Andrew. And then myself and Janet and Matt, we all volunteered. Connie also volunteered. Yeah, we'll have to hand out the rest of our pins later on, but thank you everybody who did volunteer. We truly appreciate it.
And the total is 450 hours total for everybody. So great job.
And if you guys do stuff in your community and we didn't recognize you today, let us know because we'd like to recognize you. I know you do it not for the recognition, but you do it to help your community, and everyone needs to celebrate that.
Certainly.
Thank you. Give yourselves a hand.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to move to the awardees. What I like to do is I always like to get the managers involved as well too. So sometimes you don't want to me standing up here talking the whole time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up Janet first, and Janet is going to recognize Matt Lang and
Matt's not here today.
I asked him the other day just for me, he said he didn't know about it.
Right.
Oh, he knew.
So you asked Matt several times, tell me about yourself, tell me things, and the answers that I received are just crazy. So I probably couldn't even put them on the paper. So all I can tell you is that Matt Lang's positions are salad bar and cook, and he started 5 years ago in the salad bar, and 3 years ago went to cooking. And he's very flexible and will help us all out between the two positions whenever we need him. And that's really just a really good thing that really makes me smile. And then Matt is an extreme gamer, as we all know. And we leave work, we go home, we play video games, we sleep and do it all over again the next day. And but he always does have his Eaton Park smiley face on, no matter what, whenever you see him, and he's always joking around with everyone. And Matt's, I think, latest accomplishment is the purchase of his brand new car that he's so proud of. And let's give Matt a round of applause. All right, Eileen Schmidt, you want to come up here?
Yeah,
And Eileen is celebrating her 5 years with Eaton Park, and she started off as a greeter, moved to the salad bar, buffet, and has cooked for us as well. She has her mom, dad, sister, brother, all work for Eaton Park, and she's a student at the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown studying early childhood development education. With a minor in communications certification in ESL, which is teaching students of other languages. She is also head resident of her freshman building with about 100 or more residents. And she loves volunteering, studying, developing programs, and of course going to Starbucks. And Eileen has two memorable stories from Eaton Park, and the first one is the day that she worked in the kitchen midnight, served, went to a marathon, and cooked again all day. The best part was seeing Jeff's face after Sue told him I was the midnight server, and it was busy because I made $120 in tips almost 3.5 hours. And the second was Sundays with Christian Latona, Corey Murray, and Justina Schmidt. We always did an amazing job in addition to having fun. And lastly, she also worked for Eaton Park on 51 and Johnstown. So let's give Eileen. If you would like to.
It was a great opportunity, and I really appreciate Matt and Jeff and everybody that gave me my first opportunity to job here. It can be stressful, but we also always have a great time at the end of the day. So thank you.
Eileen, what gift did you pick? The watch.
Yeah.
All right, Monica. And Monica's going to recognize recognize Lauren and Andrew.
What's
Nope. Nope. It's fine. I have chips in my mouth. It's fine. We can totally chew at the same time. It's fine. Okay, so we'll make this short and sweet for Miss Lauren. We're also celebrating 5 years for Lauren today. She started out here as a greeter, and then she transitioned into also doing bakery and takeout, which she exceeds at all 3 of those positions here at the restaurant. Unfortunately, right now we only have her seasonally, but whenever she is here, it's wonderful. She has a very bright personality. She works very, very hard. She's great with her guests. She's always smiling. She's got that smile on her face. In her high school career, she was a volleyball captain, and then she's currently going to college at Pitt Johnstown and has made the dean's list several times. She's psychology club president, and she's due to graduate next year in 2020. So that's very exciting things. Right. Her hobbies in high school and in college were both volleyball, and some of her other interests is painting, specifically watercolors. And she's very proud of the fact that she did 2 art shows in high school, where she got to display all of her artwork for everybody to see, which is a major accomplishment. One story that I got, which features our other manager, Matt, and Miss which involves them two. Lauren was dating a boy that was Matt's son's friend, and I guess he came to see how the relationship was, going on, and just trying to come in and be invested in his employees. Well, little to know, I guess he didn't know that they had just broke up, and Matt had put her into a, crying spell with tears coming down, not knowing the full-blown situation. So, yeah, it just made things very comfortable for her new breakup. So
Nice way to start the day.
that's just a great, memorable story for Matt and Lauren. But we're very happy to have her here for the past 5 years. We hope she continues working seasonally for us even after she graduates college and goes on with her future endeavors. So congratulations, and we have
Earbuds.
earbuds for you. Okay, so congratulations. And then next up, we are going to celebrate Andrew. So Andrew.
That's the white button.
Hi, Andrew. Hi, Andrew.
I keep standing in his balloon and he's smacking me in the face. Okay, everybody. So today we're also celebrating Andrew's 5 years here with the company. Currently, he's bussing and he's dishwashing. He is so wonderful at his job. He has such attention to detail whenever he's out in the dining room. Always making sure the floors are good. Always making sure the booths are clean, especially the seats. Don't leave a crumb on the seat. Andrew will find it. Andrew will get it and make sure that everything looks spectacular for our guests whenever he's out in the dining room. He also interacts with the guests wonderfully. And as a lot of you know, we post comments in the back, guest comments. He gets so many wonderful guest comments, just stating how personable he is. He's always going around giving everybody elbow bumps and chatting them up, and you can just see how much our guests truly appreciate him whenever he's here out in the dining room. Always smiling. He's also great with all of the employees. Something that was important to me and something that I truly liked, working with Andrew so far is, during all the holidays and, any type of season, he's always making sure he's going around to each individual person, you and your family have a great Easter and happy Mother's Day, and please have a great Christmas, and, really making that impact on his team members and making sure that he goes to every single person and is making them involved and making sure that they have a great time. Today joining us too, at least a couple of them, we have his family members. His dad is Dave, mom Jackie, and then he has 2 brothers, which is Matthew and Jacob. And then also we have here today his best friend Brennan. And then he also has a girlfriend named Jessica. How long have you and Jessica been dating for now?
2 years.
2 years, yeah, that's quite an accomplishment there, so that's wonderful. Something to be very proud of, along with work, with perfect attendance pretty much. Whenever he was in high school, he also got an award for perfect attendance, so that's something very important to show the kind of character that Andrew has for us. And then outside of working, his hobbies include things like painting, and if you're friends with Andrew on Facebook, wow, you get to see some of his paintings, and he does a great job with all of those paintings. Other than that, he likes to go swimming. He also plays in the Miracle League baseball team. He likes going out to the movies, working out at the gym, and then going bowling. So I think we are so thankful to have Andrew as part of our team, and has been such a great addition. Do you have anything that you want to say or talk about, Andrew? About your time here with us?
I was gonna punt on saying a few words,
Yeah.
but I just don't have nothing else to say.
Okay, all right, well, that's fine. Well, we're so happy to celebrate your 5 years here with you. You keep up the great work, okay? And what gift do we have for you today?
Sandwich maker.
A sandwich maker? You could go make some sandwiches.
Matt's gonna recognize.
Oh my
Colleen.
God, you did it.
All right.
Maybe please for you, buddy.
You can do it. Before I give
Very
my
glad I
speech, her mom
my name
wants
was
to do a little
involved in this.
buzz about her.
Very glad my name was involved in this one.
Oh, yes, that's what I was trying to tell Mark about
There you go,
that.
Crunch.
Congratulations, everybody, on your award. Okay. It's been a lot of fun to work with Colleen. Her future goals have yet to be seen. Always works good with others and helps when she can, but when she dropped Linda's bear claw, she should have ran. She came in and took the shoes right off my feet. Her customer says she's really sweet. She goes to Caillou and made the Dean's List, but Alarm Clock 101 I think she missed. Good luck. I'm sure you'll succeed in whatever you do. I'm really proud and I'll always be here for you.
Bring the chair. Bring the chair. Come on. I'll stand over here. So pretty much everybody here knows me, right? Yeah. Been around a while. Yeah. Kind of a nice guy. For some reason, Colleen is terrified of me. So I'm not going to stand very close to her. I'm going to give her space. But I did want to give you this. I heard you were looking for one. You know, you said you wanted today to be like your Sweet 16, so you said since your mom never gave you one. So we're going to give you your Sweet 16. Thank you. You are so welcome. She can't even look at you. So your mom told me that you really didn't even want to work when you first filled out her application, ripped it up, threw it away. Yeah. We're glad you did, and I'm glad you did. Colleen's getting her 5-year award today. She started at Monongahela and got her first 3 years there, and then decided to come work for us. We won't talk about why, but she came to work for us, so we're very thankful that she came to work for us. She's a server and a part-time takeout person. She's a big reason, her and a couple other people, that get us through Lent, because she helps with takeout. Does a great job in takeout. You okay? You're gonna be all right? You're not gonna fall off the chair or anything, are you? Are you sure? Okay. I'm sorry I didn't give your speech there. She actually tried to trade me off. She wanted somebody else to do her speech, but I told her she'd have to power through. She's doing a great job. So she started school for computer information systems with a minor in business administration. She plays sports at school, track and field, and she plays softball for Monongahela. Her mom's name is Sharon, who works here. Her brother's name is Brian. She has two grandmothers named Linda, and one of them is here. And an interesting fact about Colleen, besides the fact that she's terrified of me, is that she loves math. So thank you very much for working here and coming here from Monongahela, and I hope that someday we can become friends
The bracelet. There you go. Congratulations.
Wait, Colleen, you want to say anything? No. You sure? Nothing about me?
All good stuff.
Maybe just one brownie points, I'll give her the buys of that. I think.
Well, I'm trying something.
I think I just lost some points. You just gained them.
I just happened to hear about it. So Kayla is getting her 5-year award. So I worked with Kayla for 5 years. We worked together over at the old restaurant, and she was part of this great little greeter crew that we had over there. So when we moved over here, she decided that she was too good to be a greeter, I guess. So she moved to takeout, and we're really, really glad that she went to takeout, because she's a phenomenal takeout person. Does a great job over there, helps us train, has a great smile. But one thing, worked with her a lot, she always had frappuccinos. Every time I go to the window, she had a frap. I'm like, where do you get these from? We don't even make those here. So her mom always brought her. But she never got me one. I kept asking. But today, she brought me a big old frappuccino. So thank you very, very much for that. She is a pretty busy girl, has a couple different jobs, works at a tanning salon and a doctor's office, and she also goes to school. She's going to CCAC right now, and then she's transferring to Mercy Nursing School in September, so congratulations on that. Her mom's name is Judy, her dad's name is Kevin, her sister is Marissa, and her dogs, I hope I get this right, Rocky, Ariana, and Fat G.
Yeah, Fat G, that's right.
Fat G.
Yeah, that's
Okay. Her interests are sleeping and wine night. Not really sure. Can you explain this about wine night?
Yeah, wine night. Yeah, sure. Okay. On the weekends, me and Kelsey here, and Colleen, when she decides she's going to show up, sometimes, some other people, we sit in someone's living room and we drink a lot of wine. That's pretty much what that is. It's every weekday.
So pretty much what it's called, wine night.
Yeah, it is.
So, and when I was asking her about a story, I totally forgot about this one, but for those of you that were here, we had a flatbed truck, a very long flatbed truck, back up into our brand new takeout window and just destroyed it. Well, she was working that day. You got a little scared?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, you tried to tell me.
And then the very interesting thing I found out about her was that, she's trained to be a nurse, so she has to take blood, stuff like that. But she says when she takes blood, it makes her hungry. It makes her hungry.
Makes me hungry.
Makes her hungry, so maybe she's a vampire.
Red wine.
So thank you for your 5 years, and I hope that you're here a lot more, even though you're such a busy girl. You have anything you want to say?
No, I should have prepared a speech.
You really should.
I should have. I'll think about it. I'll get you one.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, looks like it's my turn. Sean, come on up. All right, Sean is celebrating 5 years. His first job while he was going to school. He went to CCAC, and I thought this was kind of interesting because, one of the things with Sean is a man of not too many words at times. But when I was talking to him, he said he loves to act, and he did Shakespearean plays at college. And I just thought that was amazing because, like I said, when he's real quiet and soft-spoken and stuff like that. And when you're doing something like that, you have to be the complete opposite. So I thought that was really interesting. As far as his family goes, he wanted me to recognize his mom, Maureen, his dad, which is Sean Sr., so Sean's a junior, and then his brother Tyler, that actually was working with us for a long period of time. He was here for about 9 years. So Hobbies, said he loves Netflix, loves watching movies there. He said his favorite is Westerns. 3 of the things that I asked him why he worked here for so long. He said he loves his fellow team members. And where did Mike go? Mike just left. And one of the things that I appreciate is sometimes sitting in the office, him and Mike have some really good, deep conversations, and I really enjoy listening to those. So I thought that was pretty cool. He said he loves the fact that everybody works around his schedule. Matt, where's Matt? Thank you, Matt, just for being flexible, like while I was going to school and so forth too. So, and then what creates a smile for me with Sean is just always very, very positive. When I first came here, we had a couple nights where some things happened and so forth. Sean stuck around, helped us out, did a little extra time, picked up some extra time and so forth too. So I want to say thank you for that as well. And then also too, just as soon as you get here, you're always jumping right in. Last week, you and Mike again took apart the whole dish room floor, took everything out, was bleaching everything, cleaning everything, and this is all on their own. So it wasn't like I said, hey, can you do me a favor? So I do appreciate that as well and all your hard work. And hopefully you're around for another 5 more years. And but thank you very much for all your time. I do appreciate it. Sean chose the digital camera. Congratulations. Thank you. Melissa. Melissa, 10 years. It's pretty cool, huh? Yeah. Exciting. It does go fast. Melissa is a Robert Morris graduate, and that was actually her first job. She worked as a healthcare recruiter, and hence into her family when she had her first child, Carson. Where's Carson? Hey, Carson. That's when she took about a year off of work, am I correct? About a year? Yeah. And then she wound up coming to Eaton Park, and my lovely wife kind of coerced her to come over, and she's been here for 10 years ever since. Along with family, along with Carson back there, her husband Mike, and her other son Jackson, which is right there. Hi, Jackson. Her hobbies, obviously, are children. Every time there's a game or something going on, that's where you can find her. Actually, my wife and I took a walk last week, walking down the street, and here they come back from baseball. So, I asked my wife another question, which she also told me too. I said, "Can you tell me a little story? Anything you know?" First thing she said, she loves wine. So she's funny. So, and she also told me that as well too. So, it's nice to be recognized for something as far as wine goes. I asked her why she's been with Eaton Park for 10 years. She said, obviously, the flexibility. She said it's like family here. And she said she enjoys the atmosphere, and the customers are awesome. And I thought it was pretty interesting when I was sitting doing her interview, so to speak. It was Mother's Day, and a family came up, and there were some kids walking around the salad bar. I guess they were around 13 years old or so forth. And Melissa kind of just stopped what she was doing and made sure she talked to them and so forth. And she was telling me how she watched them grow up and so forth. And after she was done talking, that's when she looked at me. She goes, "That's why I love it." She goes, "It's nice to see, all the people, that I've worked with over the years, customers and so forth." And it's very apparent when she's working. I haven't worked with her for a long period of time, but just watching her in the dining room, she stops, she talks to everybody, she helps everybody. Even if it's not her table, if somebody has a look on their face of need, she asks them, "Hey, is there anything I can get for you?" and so forth. So I really appreciate that. As far as the story, I asked her, I said, anything you memorable about working at Eaton Park? And she said she was working at the old Eaton Park, and somebody was doing their clean out. And I guess they were taking the oil and vinegars out, and they put the oil and vinegar in the water pitchers and the other darker pitcher, the iced tea pitcher. So she just assumed it was iced tea. She took it out, she gave it to her guests. And unfortunately, her guests had a little bit of vinegar in it. So I thought that was pretty cool.
I was like, oh my. Sorry.
Is there anything that you'd like to add or anything you want to say?
I just want to thank you guys so much. This is a great job for a mom. A lot of flexibility. And everybody here is awesome. I love coming in. I'm only here on Sundays now, so I just enjoy seeing everybody. We miss Dory Ann, but One thing you guys don't know about me is, I guess I can let out the secret now.
I was going to ask if I could
Okay,
tell us.
yeah. Even though I've been here 10 years, I actually, back in the day, do you know what year the waterfront opened? Was it 2000?
Late 1999.
Okay. I actually opened that store. I started there, yeah. And that was in, I was 19, just getting out of high school, going out with my friends. I was one of those people that, don't really make it. I don't need a job. I even tried out, they had me try out for a commercial, a park commercial. Yeah, so nobody really knew that about me. Now that I made it 10 years, I think it's cool.
How long did it last? How long were you there?
I think it was like 4 or 5 months. It wasn't long, but.
Were you a server?
Yeah.
Were you?
Yeah.
That's cool.
A couple of my friends, and I was just like, going out. I'm not coming in today. I don't need this job. But I was young and stupid, and I came back. And 10 years now, I figure I survived, so I'd let you guys know that.
That's funny. That's awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much
Thank
for all
you.
your time, years of service, and so forth. And this is a heavy one. This is the block set.
My husband better watch out.
Yeah, wait.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Kristen, you want to come up? Congratulations. So Kristen is celebrating 10 years, but she actually has a total of 19 years, which we're going to try to get that all reinstated back for you. But she left for a short period of time to get back. So family members, Joe, he's an X-ray tech. Doesn't have any children, but has a couple dogs, Lucy and Marty, and a cat named Yara. So.
It's Kathy's fault.
She wanted me to recognize her mom. Is it Flory?
Yeah.
Flory, and her dad David. So the best story that I really enjoyed this because it's kind of close to home. She met her husband in the park.
More than the place for snow.
Absolutely. So supposedly, he was a customer that used to come in from time to time, and she claims that he got a job here just so he could.
He denies it, but we know the truth.
Absolutely. And then, where was your first date? Walmart. Yeah. That was pretty cool. Her hobbies. She said she loves to sleep. And she said she loves to work on the house. I guess they redid basically their whole entire house. And she said she learned how to reface kitchen cabinets. She got to learn how to use a tile cutter. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. She loves to travel. She said her favorite TV show is Games of Thrones. And she loves to salsa dance. She went to college at CCAC. And then you also went to college with your husband too, correct? For a short period of time?
Well, he went to CCAC with me,
Okay.
and then I transferred to Kelly.
How are you? And then you also got your master's from County as
That's
well
right.
too. So if you don't know, Kristen is a full-time Spanish teacher at Ringgold High School. So not only does she have a full-time job here, she comes and works with us every single Sunday. So which is pretty tough. So but it's probably a little break from all those kids. So it's probably well fitting in here with a bunch of kids too. So I thought that was pretty cool. So, here's another really cool story. Krista was doing a semester in Madrid,
Yes.
right? Okay, so she was in Madrid, and they wanted to go see the running of the bulls. So, which I imagine anybody would come to go see something like that too. So she said to me, she goes, the first sign that I shouldn't have went was probably when I tried to get a bus, and it was really hard, and there wasn't a lot of buses available and so forth. So they finally got there. She said there were so many people there, she couldn't even get close to see the bulls to begin with. And then the best part was she couldn't get a hotel. So they wound up sleeping on the streets of Pamplona for the night. So that's
Yeah, but we weren't the only ones. There was a lot of people sleeping on the streets, so it felt safe.
yeah, I felt safe. And Pamplona on the streets, why not?
Literally slept on the street.
Again, what creates a smile for me Again, just a great server. You know, like I said, to come to do a full-time job and then you come here on the weekends and work every Sunday, which is you know, the busiest day that we have. You know, she's always very positive, great with her guests, great with her fellow coworkers. You know, so just great to have you here. And I know, like I said, it's you know, I don't know how much longer you're going to be here because you do a full-time job. But I hope you're here a lot longer. So I just want to say thank you for all your hard work and everything. Is there anything you want to say?
Sure. Well, when I first started here, Dorianne was pregnant with Deanna.
Oh.
It gives you an idea of how long it's been. But really, Eden Park has become like my family. You know, there's so many people here that have been like lifelong friends. I know if I have any cat problems, I'm texting Cat. You know, I mean, there's just so many people that this is like the college job that I just couldn't quit. And, even, you know, with my job, I would be back here in the summer anyway. So if I quit during the school year, you'd see me in the summer, because I don't think, I don't know, I can't wait. But Donnie asked me to come up with a story, and so when I went home and asked Joe, I said, what story should I tell? He's like, why don't you tell about the time Jeff actually fired you? But instead of telling that one, I figured I would tell a story about one of the first nights Matt was with us over at the old restaurant. I don't know if you're going to remember this, because this is more about me. Like, most of the stories I have, like, are me as a bystander, like, watching other people, like the time Joe split his hands, when he fell over Jeffrey's bleeding, growled with a toothbrush, and then Jeffrey made him staple his pants shut. No, but this story is, it was let me set the scene. It was a Friday night. And we were about to get that lovely kid rush, you know, the one after the ice skating rink lets out, and all those 13 to 15-year-olds come in with, you know, all their ice skates on and everything. But I was in section 4, and Barb totally battleshipped my section. Like 20 teenagers. And I'm already devastated because they're out there counting their pennies, so I can just see the tip I'm gonna get, you know. And I go over and ask for the drink order, and mocha java milkshake, chocolate milkshake, cappuccino, hot chocolate. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So of course I go back into the pantry, and I'm like, anybody have time? Nobody has time, right? And this was like years ago. When did you start? Like 2003? 2005. So I was still pretty young, but I was just like, oh, F this. I like walked out the front door, made it to the sidewalk, and was like, crap, I gotta pay rent. So I turned back around, and Matt's in the office, and I just go up to the office, and he's standing there like this. Matt's like, get back on the floor. Yeah, this was one of your first nights, so. The good news was I got out of waiting on the teenagers, but that was like the night I realized that I had to be an adult and I couldn't just quit a job because I didn't like it. So I had to pay for my apartment and stuff. So I mean, I literally grew up here in March.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, Kristen's gift went to her house. She got a telescope, so it was actually shipped right to her house. So, but thank you very much. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for getting this.